Hey guys and girls, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid was released in September 1998 in Japan and February 1999 in Europe. Being a sequel to both Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake for the MSX, it is the third canonical game in the Metal Gear franchise and the first in the Metal Gear Solid series. I never owned an NES growing up. I'd only bought a Famicom like a few years ago, so I'd never really heard of the Metal Gear franchise growing up, and it wasn't until Metal Gear Solid started appearing in magazines that I finally learned, all about the series. And with the magazines, a demo soon appeared, and it's actually quite a meaty demo. I think it's roughly about 30 minutes. It ends when you rescue the DARPA chief, and sometimes what I like to do is go back to that demo and use my Action Replay Professional just to hack into the game and create my own custom codes, and just to like get items and equipment that you're not normally supposed to get in the demo. And a fun fact for you is for that one is if you use the level 6 card to try and enter the torture room, the game just crashes. When the game came out, a work colleague and I actually went down to our local game during our lunch break, and we bought ourselves a copy each. And funny thing is, we met up at random at some point last year, and we actually reminisced about Metal Gear Solid actually going down to that game and picking up a copy. And I remember reading an article highlighting the fact that Konami could have easily have sold Metal Gear Solid for 50 quid, but they actually, if I recall, they were actually selling it at retail price for $39.99, which I thought was quite nice of them. I felt like this during the demo, but I was actually really impressed with the whole presentation of the game, as it was likely the very first time I played a game with a very cinematic style. Overall, I thought the game was a lot of fun, and I don't recall getting through it with too much trouble, although I get a feeling I probably would have struggled with the whole CD case puzzle in order to get Meryl's codec frequency, but I can only imagine what that would have been like, had that not been spoiled for me, and probably everybody else who read that particular issue of Official PlayStation magazine.
It should be on the back of the CD case. Try to contact her.
I'll contact her right away.
Okay, so let's find the CD case then. Not there. Not there. Not there. I don't know where this bloody CD case is. This game's rubbish. Oh, for I enjoyed the game so much that I actually, on a random trip to CEX down Rathbone Place one day, I acquired the Japanese version. I think this must have been around about 10 quid or something like that. It was cheap at the time, because obviously it would have been out in Japan for ages, so price going down on what is essentially an old game. And yeah, I'm kind of glad I bought this after the PAL version, which unfortunately I don't have anymore. I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, I would have struggled a lot with this, what with not knowing much, if any, Japanese at the time. That would have been about, what, 98, 99, yeah. Yeah, I would have struggled with this, and I can imagine this whole CD case thing, that would have been like, whoosh! I would have just been running around and round and round all the time, not finding anything, not realising that it's right there. And yeah, I probably would have just put this game down and never played it again, or at least not for a long time afterwards. I would have eventually relented and got the English version. But yeah, that was pretty much it really. And there's a few differences between the Japanese version and the international versions. A couple of which are one, the Japanese version. There is no no difficulty selection on this, so yeah, it just boots straight into the game. And the difficulty for the Japanese version, if I remember rightly, that's used as the basis for easy mode on the international versions. And another difference is actually, this is actually quite funny, is Johnny's backside when you escape from the cell and Mel holds you at gunpoint. On the Japanese version, he's wearing shorts to hide his modesty, but obviously in the international version he's absolutely butt naked with pixelation on it. But it's because of this pixelation that intrigued my morbid curiosity, and I discovered that it is actually possible to bypass the censoring and look at Johnny's butt crack. I don't know what possessed me to try and find this out. In fact, a friend of mine even questioned my motivation.
What is its motivation?
And it was actually that same friend of mine who actually bought the North American version of Metal Gear Solid, and when he was done with it, he actually gave it to me. I don't know why I only had the discs, but it was only up until about a few weeks ago. I've had this in this case for a very, very long time now. I've had this in my possession, must have been for about 20 years, and it's only taken me until a couple of weeks ago to finally put Mel's codec number on the back of this CD case, just in case on the off chance I happen to lend this to a friend, they get to the CD case puzzle, they probably know the CD case puzzle, but they probably can't remember what the codec is, and they're like, oh, for God's sake, you just gave me the disc, and it's just like, oh, that's really clever. Probably. Those of you that have actually watched my streams over the last couple of years, you will know those two versions are not the only versions of Metal Gear Solid for the PS1 that I own. Metal Gear Solid Integral was released in June 1999 in Japan and 2000 worldwide on PC, simply being titled Metal Gear Solid. It is an updated version of the international release with numerous additions, including English voice acting, a very easy mode, alternate patrol routes for the Genome soldiers, a sneaking suit for Meryl, and the ability to play the game in first-person perspective. The main addition is the VR disc, which includes 300 missions across varying scenarios. The VR disc was sold as a standalone release internationally in late 1999, being named Metal Gear Solid VR Missions in North America and Metal Gear Solid Special Missions in PAL regions. I was once again browsing CEX down Rathbone Place, and I was just having a little look around when I saw this in their display cabinet, and I was looking at it. I was like, ooh, a new version of Metal Gear Solid, and I can't remember if I immediately wanted it there and then, or if I just ummed and ahed about it. I must have known something about it because it cost 70 quid and I bought it. I was still living at home. I had disposable income every week, so you know, I was getting paid weekly from work, so you know, regular trips up to London, regular trips to CEX. I was just like, hey, new import game, I'll buy it. I can remember reading the instruction manual actually on the way home, because let me just take a look. He's got the ordinary come as you go Japanese manual, which is, you know, really, really nice. But obviously, I only had a quick peruse through this because this is actually technically the Asian version of Metal Gear Solid Integral, and as a result, it comes with a Chinese and English instruction manual. I was just reading through this. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. I get all this. I get what to do. It's all fine and what have you. So yeah. It's something I actually still like to do every once in a while when I come back from like a Play Expo or the London Gaming Market, you know, just look at the instruction manuals on my way home. So, I'm having, right, a proper session on the VR disc, right? And I'm getting to a stage that I get stuck on, and for some reason I just can't get past it. And so what I do, I get hold of my Action Replay Professional again. I create a cheat where it fulfills the requirement for me to get past the level, and yeah, that was it. That was pretty much me getting past that level. I think that was the only time I cheated on that level, and I don't know if it's the Mandela effect, but I'm pretty sure it's this level that I couldn't get past. I seem to remember that one always being the level, but it confuses me nowadays because I can get past that level really easily. In fact, I can even curve the rockets around the corners and past obstacles and what have you. Now, obviously, guys, we can't talk about Metal Gear Solid without talking about one other version, and I think you guys all know what that is. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes was released worldwide in March 2004 exclusively for the Nintendo GameCube. It is a remake of Metal Gear Solid with improved graphics, new cutscenes, a revised translation and re-recorded voice acting with the original cast. It uses the Metal Gear 2 engine, which allows for greater mobility during gameplay. Now, I don't actually have the greatest of memories as far as Twin Snakes is concerned. I do recall getting it from, I can't remember if it was from my local game shop or if it was from my local independent game shop or if it was from Game, but I do recall it being really cheap. I think it was $19.99, and I'm really glad I got this when I did, because whoo, the prices that are commanding for that it's commanding on eBay, they're just an absolute joke. And yeah, mainly because it's still GameCube exclusive, so that's probably why. So yeah, you say I don't have too many memories, but I do remember because it's based on the older Metal Gear Solid 2 engine. One of the things you can do is hold up the genome soldiers and just so you can get their dog tags, and I can remember just pointing the gun at their balls and just threatening to shoot them until they dropped their dog tags, and shooting them, pew, just like that. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much my memories of Metal Gear Solid. I think that's probably more of an abridged version of my memories, but I don't want the video to go on for too long. So yeah, what are your guys' memories of Metal Gear Solid, and did you genuinely get stuck on the CD case mission, or like me, did you read a spoiler of it in the magazine? I would actually love to know, but until then, take care of yourselves and thanks for watching.